I'm an import to Liverpool, or also known as a come from away. I moved here about 25 years ago when I was in my early 20s from North Bay, Ontario. But I would say that now I'm a local because I've been here longer than I have been in Ontario. I think it's important to make connections and keep good connections because you don't know where you'll end up in the future and who you may have to rely on. The community was very welcoming, definitely. A lot of people were very hesitant about craft beer because it was very much a Budweiser town. When it comes down to it, it's definitely our regulars who keep us going. The people who are there in February when there aren't tourists around and nobody, not many people are drinking beer. So it's the people who come consistently all throughout the year that we cherish the most. They just keep us going, they keep my heart filled, and they keep me pushing through each year. And it's nice and calm and peaceful here, and everybody knows each other, and it's nice to have that sense of family here.
Today, we are going down home to Liverpool, Nova Scotia, where the ocean meets the Mersey River. We will meet with Melanie and Mark, the owners and operators of Hell Bay Brewing Company, one of the pioneering craft breweries on the East Coast. Hell Bay is ideally located just off Main Street with a stunning view of the bay. Join us as we head down home to Liverpool, Nova Scotia.
Melanie, thank you so much for having me to Hell Bay Brewing Company in beautiful Liverpool.
Oh, happy to have you here.
Yeah, I'm excited. So Liverpool, it's such a beautiful community. Did you grow up here?
No, I didn't actually. I'm an import to Liverpool, or also known as a CFA, a come from away. I moved here about 25 years ago when I was in my early 20s from North Bay, Ontario. But I would say that now I'm a local because I've been here longer than I have been in Ontario.
And what was that like moving from Ontario to here? What was the draw?
The draw was, I would say, the ocean. I was just drawn to the ocean and always wanting to see the coastline and what it was because Ontario is so central to Canada, and I just knew there was so much more to this country than, Ontario. Yeah.
So true. I did the same. I'm a come from away as well.
Yeah.
But I was from the other coast to this coast.
Nice.
And it's so beautiful here.
It is. It's gorgeous. The area itself, I guess when I first moved here, I was living in Halifax, and I grew up kind of rural, and I was just looking for that country life again. So I moved down here because it offered that. It offered a slower pace of life. It offered more outdoor activities and, space to be outside.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you grew up in Ontario. Is your family still there, or did some of them move out here to follow you?
No, they all stayed there. Yeah. My mom she wanted to move out here, but my father had no interest. He wanted to stay home with my two brothers. So they come and visit quite often, and I go back to visit. So it gives them a nice vacation destination.
And how is it different? I mean, you grew up in a rural small town in Ontario, and now you're kind of in another small town here, but what's the difference? What makes this feel more like home to you now?
I would just say the community, the sense of community feels a lot of the same, just different people.
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing, it's great to have, make a new family, make new friends, and just make your own life and settle somewhere different.
What did you do before opening the business? What was sort of your impetus to move into this business, and what were you doing before? Was it related to this kind of work, or was it something different?
Yeah, I would say because my business partner, Mark and I were both chefs by trade. So the culinary background definitely comes in when you're creating a beer recipe, because it's all about balance and flavors and trying to, create something with the raw material to get an end product. I was on maternity leave for 7 years and just kind of got bored at home with my kids. Like, mind you, there's lots to do when you're on maternity leave. It's, you're very busy, and we had a small farm and animals, and Mark always brewed for fun. And then he got to the point where he was making so much beer that we couldn't consume it, we couldn't share it. So at that time, I had looked into developing a business. So I created a business plan with him and, started a small, at the time it was considered a nano brewery.
So you started brewing from home to begin with. And how long were you doing that before you came into the storefront? How did that kind of come to be?
I would say he was probably doing that from the time I had met him. So he was just brewing small batches from kits. So you can buy pre-made kits with malt in it. And then it grew from that to using full grain barley, and then using real hops. And I guess it was pretty consistent for about 5 years. And then we had the whole operation in our basement, and we had a keg fridge with kegs in it and beer taps coming out of it. And when we started the business, when we were first licensed, we had converted a third of our 250-year-old barn into the brewery. So that's where we started, was in the barn in Cherry Hill.
How did the name come to you? Because Hell Bay, it's a great name. Where did that come from?
So we just named the brewery after the body of water that was actually behind the house. So most locals know it as Cherry Hill Beach, but when you look at the map, it's actually called Hell Bay. And I guess they call it that because what I found out was there's a shoal offshore, and that's when the water gets shallow quite quickly, so that caused lots of shipwrecks, and that became Hell Bay.
I love the name.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I love that it harkens back to where you started, which was in your barn, in your home on Hell Bay.
Exactly, right? It's so perfect, because so many people think we just made that name up and it's a made-up place, but it's actually a real place about 20 minutes from here. So, yeah, it was almost destiny.
Your family, they're still in Ontario. Did they have anything, did they work in the service industry, or did they, kind of inspire that in any way? Or is it just something that totally came to you separately?
That was just something that came to me separately. I had always been, I always wanted to be an artist. So growing up, my parents of that generation were completely against, going to art school, becoming an artist. So I took the closest thing I could, which was culinary arts. So I figured I could make art with food and still, kind of do what I wanted to do, was creating and making. And I think that has to do a lot with the background of how the brewery became, because you're creating a product and you're putting a product out and you're marketing it and selling it, and it's still making something, but it's just not, visual arts. It would be culinary arts, but in a different way, I guess, craft beer, yeah. So the chalk art and the rug cookings on the wall are mine, but all of the other art that we have is from local people. So Liverpool has so many talented local artists that, I just encourage them, if they have anything creepy and weird and different that would relate to Hell Bay, that they can put it on the walls here.
So you and Mark started the business.
We did, yes.
And who else is involved in it?
So we have Mike, who is our brewer. So he does all the brewing, and I always say without him, we would have nothing to put in cans and we wouldn't have a business. So thankfully, Mike is very dedicated, and he helps maintain all the equipment and cleans the equipment, and he helps with the canning process. And, we're all very involved when it comes to the brewery. We all have our special part in working together. Yeah.
That's so great that you can kind of come together and use all of your skills to work together and make this a successful business.
It is, especially for just having such a small staff, right?
I love that I can see the brewery through the windows here. It feels like you're kind of like part of the action.
Well, it's fun. That's what we intended to do when we started, was we wanted people to know that we actually do everything here on site. And we still have people who come in who don't believe that what we do is all done in this little tiny building.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, but it's amazing. I'd love to see how it all works.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Mark will be happy to bring you through the process of brewing.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
So Mark, you are the other half of this endeavor.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were the one who started the brewing process, the sort of the impetus to begin this entire project. How did that come about for you? Is it something you'd always done, family business?
No, it's well, I was a cook for many years and like dabbling with recipes and that sort of thing, and then got into making beer and started making quite a bit of it, and then we were kind of thinking probably do something here, and yeah, we started looking at some different avenues and started a small little shop in the barn at home and renovated that, and then eventually ended up coming down here, and yeah, now we're in Liverpool.
And how has that been? How was it when you first came here? What was it like coming into this community, bringing something really kind of new?
It was a little different because again, there weren't a lot of craft breweries, so people were more accustomed to their Keiths or their Labatt's or something like that. So it was a little bit of breaking the ground kind of thing. And but everybody came out, and the town's great for local support and everything. So it just, yeah, it went over great. And yeah, then again, couldn't keep up. So we just kept making it and see where it takes us.
Absolutely. And do you get to, you know, collaborate with other business owners a bit, or have different people kind of come in? I know you showcase some of the art from local artisans.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, we've collaborated with quite a few breweries and made special batches. And we either did it here or did it at another brewery or something like that. And that's always fun, because then you can start bouncing ideas off of people, and you've got more people to talk to as opposed to when we first started.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like, how am I going to do this? Google.
And like
Google didn't have the answers either.
And so Mike is your head brewer.
He's the head brewer now. He came on a few years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, been great having him ever since.
Yeah, well, let's talk to Mike. Maybe Mike will give us a little rundown of what he's going to.
Ah, here it
Mike?
comes now.
Mike, there he is. Oh, you heard your name. So, Mike, you're the head brewer now.
Yes.
Yes. And so I'm assuming you must have worked together to kind of hand off, because you're taking a little bit of a backseat on that area, which has always been your baby, and now in the capable hands of Mike. How is that?
That's great. Well, Mark did a great job of creating the recipes in the first place. So the handoff was just following his recipes, keeping things clean. Like, that's the biggest part of the process. Keeping things clean, the sanitary side of it, and sticking to the process, really. So that's my main job.
That's great. So you kind of had it.
Producing great beer.
Producing great beer.
Yeah.
Recipe is already set up, process already set up, and you get to come in and just maintain the flow.
Exactly.
And make sure that it stays as excellent as it has always been.
Yep, as high as quality as possible.
That's great. That's so nice that you were able to find each other and find a good partnership here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, it worked out
Couldn't
well.
go without him.
Absolutely. Okay, now we're on to my favorite part, the tasting.
Yes.
So what would you recommend?
I guess it depends on what styles you prefer. That's usually what I recommend to people, what they generally drink and what they prefer, and then I try to match that with what we have on tap.
Okay, so I'm not the biggest beer drinker, but I like a really dark beer or a really light beer.
Excellent. So we can accommodate that. So we do have a nice porter, which we add some sea salt and some cocoa to.
Ooh.
And then we do have a really light Pilsner, so super smooth, easy to drink. It'll slip right down your throat. And then for the beer drinker or the people who don't like beer, we offer a couple of vodka-based choices.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so we do have some vodka-based drinks on tap. We get our vodka, comes from Barreling Tide Distilleries, which is up in Port Williams. And then we do our own blending here in 20-liter kegs.
Oh, nice. So you are, that's another kind of local-ish company that you get to work with.
Exactly, yeah. We try to keep it as local as we can.
I definitely want to try all three of those. They sound right up my alley.
Certainly, so I'll get those poured.
Okay, great. So the first one you're pouring is the...
This is the porter.
Looks like a porter, yeah.
It is.
Perfect, nice and dark. And that's got the salted caramel in it. I love salted caramel.
Salted chocolate.
Salted chocolate.
Yes.
I know what this is.
I know.
Okay, so this is the salted chocolate.
This is the salted chocolate porter. So dark, has lots of dark malt in it.
Great, it's like a nice little dessert treat, kind of.
It certainly is.
Love that.
I had it the other night with some, what did I eat it with? Oh, some sweet peanuts. So it was really good.
Ooh.
It paired well with that, some honey roasted peanuts.
Nice.
Well, that's good.
And this one is the...
That is your Pilsner. So Pilsner is completely different, uses a different yeast, and it's fermented at a different temperature. This one here is the Blueberry Fizz.
Blueberry Fizz.
This is the lemonade. It has a lemonade base and then has organic blueberry juice added to it.
Organic blueberry juice. Oh, this is perfect. Look at these cute little drinks. I want to try them.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun for people who come in and they don't want to dedicate themselves to one full pint, so they can do the sampler and have samples of a little bit of everything. So that's the porter.
Oh, that's good.
Definitely get the cocoa in there because what the cocoa does is it gives you a rounder mouthfeel. It'll add some extra bittering and dryness, and then you get the sea salt right on the finish.
I really like that one.
Yeah, it's really easy to drink. I always tell customers it'll slip right down their throat. Yeah.
It's true. It's so smooth.
It is. It's very crisp and clean. Yeah. Mark created some good recipes. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did. He's got a real gift.
He does. Yeah.
And so then with the non-beer.
The non-beer.
Did he also create those recipes?
No, those are what I do. So I do all the cocktails, and I usually do a keg. So the keg, you can take out the center of it, and you can just add all of your ingredients inside and shake it up. So that is a lemonade base.
That's really good.
With organic blueberry juice.
Well, I'm excited to finish off this delicious flight, and then maybe we can go out and explore some of Liverpool.
Sounds like a great plan. Cheers.
I love that you can walk right down from your business and be here on the waterfront. It's so beautiful.
It's so calming.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that you moved here because you felt really drawn by the water. And how cool is it that you now get to work like right beside it?
I know. I think it was just serendipitous. It was meant to be, right?
Absolutely. And also the community around you. Like it's such an incredible community. Can you tell me a little bit about how that's worked with the business and how you kind of integrate within the community and how they've, received you and grown with you along the way?
Definitely. So when we set up the business 13 years ago, Valerie, who has the little market beside us, her and her sister-in-law, Marlene, they've been at that spot for 38 years. So it's just great to have them next door to us. So we sort of get the overflow. People from the brewery would go over and buy some fruits and vegetables from her or vice versa. And it's just always nice to go out and talk to her every day and see how her day is and what's new and what's growing. And she just has such a great spirit. And there's other businesses in the community too that, new ones have popped up since COVID, and unfortunately some have closed since the time that we've opened as well. But I think that's just the diversity of a small town, it's always changing and evolving to adapt to what the situation is.
In Liverpool, I can imagine that there's quite an influx in the summer with it being such a beautiful destination. How is that? Do you find that you get a lot more customers? Are your regulars still in? What do you see as the seasons go?
Oh, definitely. So we are definitely a tourist town, so we have to take those tourist dollars in the summer when we can. We're very fortunate to have the Cat Ferry in Yarmouth, which brings a lot of Americans to us. So, you know, it's a great influx, but when it comes down to it, it's definitely our regulars who keep us going. The people who are there in February when there aren't tourists around and nobody, you know, not many people are drinking beer. So it's the people who come consistently all throughout the year that we cherish the most. Yeah, they just keep us going. They keep my heart filled and they keep me pushing through each year.
That's so beautiful. And it is really special to get to know those people in your community and be able to create that rapport and become, you know, friends.
It is. It's great because, you know, I call them customers, but really they are friends because we know so much about each other and we're always asking what's new in their life. And, you know, it becomes, again, a great community. And it's a community of customers, but a community of friends.
You've been here for 11 years in this spot, doing Hell Bay for 13 years.
Yeah.
Do you see any changes coming up in the future? Is there anything you're really looking forward to or anything you're looking to grow? Or are you just happy to kind of stay the way it is?
You know, ideally we would love to have a kitchen, seeing how Mark and I are both chefs by trade, but in reality we don't have the space for it. Our building is already so small that we can't put the kitchen in. But then that's a separate business and I don't know if I want to run two businesses. I'm just content doing Hell Bay, you know, one can, one glass at a time. I'm not a person of many means, so, you know, sustainability, that's just what I'm after. I'm not looking to grow and become a millionaire because to me that just takes more work, more effort, and less time away from my family. So to me, it's all about family and community, and I find the easiest way to do that is keeping it small and simple.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And I love that. You know, sometimes people like to expand and grow, but sometimes you just have a really great thing going, and it's nice to just keep it that way.
Yeah.
And you get more time with your family.
That's right.
And that's really important.
I think so, in the end, because that's all you're going to remember, right? Is, you know, either you spent enough time or not enough time with your family, and I don't want to regret anything as my kids are growing.
And how is it raising the kids in this community? Because you grew up in a small town, but now you're in another one. What is it like with your kids growing up here?
It's fun. They enjoy it. It's, you know, they don't have as much available to them as they would in a bigger community, but they don't know any different. So to them, when they're done school, they can go and live their dreams and live their lives. But right now we can give them as much as we can and open them to as much possibilities and dreams. And, you know, it's up to them to decide where they want to go with their life.
Absolutely, and they have this like beautiful environment surrounding them and a community to support them too, which is an important thing when you're a kid to know that you have people around you.
Oh, exactly, and it's nice and calm and peaceful here, and you know, everybody knows each other, and it's nice to have that sense of family here, because in the end, that's what it comes down to is my kids. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it sounds like you've made a really great balance of that.
I try. Yeah, I try my best.
Thank you so much for showing me your business today and talking about the community and kind of opening up my eyes to what there is to offer here in Liverpool, Melanie. It's been really lovely.
Oh, well, thank you for coming and visiting. I really appreciate it. It's always nice to have new people in and being able to show them what we do and what we're all about here in Liverpool.